Good evening, Tony Weber here from Serviceside, sitting here at the log pile. And one of the things I want to talk to you today and give you a couple quick tips that I do quite a few times nowadays is all about safety. Everyone's excited to get back into the woods, get back in the tree stand. Good afternoon, folks. Tony Weber, Serviceside. Good evening. Tony Weber and Ryan Lamago here at Serviceside. We came in today, set up a new set. And if you're a guy like me who has his own private property that I pretty much do all my hunting on, I don't need to go out and buy a really super light hang-on with a bunch of sticks so I can kind of run and gun and be very mobile. I oftentimes buy these cheap hang-on stands from Dunham's or online or Field and Stream. They're like 40 bucks usually on sale, and they work for me. I don't need to move them a lot. If I do move them, I'm pulling the truck up to the end of the field and throwing it right in the back of the truck. So I don't have to have something super light and super amazing. And those stands are usually a bit more expensive. So one of the things I do is I'm able to buy more stands if I buy cheaper ones. However, whether you're buying an expensive stand or a cheap stand, almost every hang-on nowadays, part of their stability system is these cables. And these cables are great because they are light and they are flexible. But one of the things that I've found from using the same stands for 10-15 years is I can't trust these cables. And when I see them starting to get brittle like this, I get very, very wary. We all have a friend or two who's fell out of a tree stand or had one malfunction, and oftentimes most guys get lucky. Not everybody does. So I check all my stands before I get in them, before the season starts. I'm going to go up next weekend and check every stand I have, even the ones that are only a year old. But this is a stand that's in one of our main fields, and last year I wanted to change it out, and I never got a chance to, so I didn't hunt it. I knew that I wasn't going to feel safe in it. So even though I probably could have shot a doe or two, as I usually do that, I didn't hunt it because I just didn't feel safe. The year before that, I had a stand that myself and Ryan Lamago hunted in, and it was great all through hunting season. I went to get in it to do another tip video 2 feet off the ground, and a cable snapped. Now, if that would have been us at 15, 20, 25 feet in the air, it could have been more dangerous. So what I do is I take these off completely, and you can go out, and most of the companies you can buy replacement cables. Some of the companies you can't, and this is why I started doing this. One of the companies I was buying stands from, you couldn't buy replacement cables. So I did what everybody else would do, or what you should do. I went to Tractor Supply, and I took my cable in, and I found some heavy-duty chain. It's rated at 545 pounds. I measured how much it was. I cut 2 chunks off, and I took that. I went over to the nut and bolt section, and I got some grade 8 steel bolts that fit the same size as the ones that were in the tree stand, and I just run it the exact same way. Now, if you take a look, my wonderful wife is videoing right now. Hon, if you would zoom in on this. Are you right here in the middle? I mean, if I bend this, some of these bands are starting to break. The wires are starting to crack, so I get rid of these completely. And this is the reason why. I take a look at these every time. I usually lift the bottom of the platform up and give them a wiggle. And when they start to crack like this, I say, you know what, I'm done, and I swap them out. So basically, this is the exact same setup. All I do is I run some washers, I run the chain, and I run new bolts. And I know from having chains sitting around at the farm for decades upon decades, some chain we found that we don't even know where it came from, that will last for 30, 40 years, far longer than I'm going to have to worry about hunting in a tree stand. So the only thing that I do after this is I take a can of the flexible rubber coating, and I just hose the whole thing down, and I spray it liberally, and I'm good to go. So this here is only like 10 bucks, and it'll probably do 20 or 30 stands, which I don't even have that many, so it'll last for a while. The chain and the bolts themselves altogether cost $13. So it's a quick way to make sure that I feel safe in a stand, because one of the things I want to do is I always want to come home to my family, and it's a really easy and simple process, and I know that I can jump in a stand and be ready to hunt. So thanks for watching, and if you have any questions, let me know.